If you use a radiative model, then the Earth is going to cook over the next 200 years because there's no way humans are going to reduce their CO2 emissions. So in this short video, we'll explore the next 200 years and the next about 70, 80,000 years. This graph shows about 120 years in the past and 180 years or so in the future. The IPCC prediction is the jagged red line here, produced by their models, which are programmed to be sensitive to CO2. This is the new 4.5 prediction because the previous 8.5 prediction wasn't selling very well, so they rebranded it. We know CO2 will continue going up until nuclear power becomes mainstream, and it'll take hundreds of years to go back down. So the radiative people are sounding the alarm and selling solutions that undermine privacy, security, and the economy in exchange for authoritarian control over the weather. But if you use a thermal model, you understand that solar variation drives our climate via the oceans. The black line is Javier Vinos's prediction. On this timescale, he believes solar cycles will be the main driver of temperature. He thinks temperature will continue to rise for another 50 years or so. Then it'll start to descend after the eddy solar cycle peaks later this century. Now my prediction is a little different, shown in red here. I don't think it'll be as hot as Javier predicts. I think the AMO and PDO will have the biggest influence. Then the next AMO negative cycle, which starts in about 6 years, will bring temperatures down or flat for about 35 years. Then the radiative alarmists will have 3 full decades of new records, heat waves, and fundraising. So there's going to be a drop in solar radiation around years 2100 and 2200 from the Feynman cycle. I believe the ocean oscillations will continue to dominate, but the solar cycles are a large input to the ocean oscillations, so it's all based on solar variation one way or another. These are, of course, just educated guesses. It'll turn out differently, but at least we can look forward to much more plant growth for the rest of this century. Longer term, when will we again have ice sheets covering much of North America and Europe as we did 20,000 years ago? At this timescale, climate is driven by orbital mechanics, with obliquity, shown here in red, being the main driver. Starting in about 1,000 to 1,500 years, temperatures will start to descend and the ice sheets will once again start marching down on North America, Europe, and Russia. While obliquity will be high enough in 35,000 years to start a new interglacial, eccentricity will be too low for a strong one. But if you go out 80,000 years, both obliquity and eccentricity will combine to make a really nice, pleasant interglacial climate, a bit warmer than what we have today. So buy your beachfront property when it's still underwater about 70,000 years from now, and just a few thousand years later, you'll be very glad you did.